couple of weeks ago, a rather startling event took place. Language expert and travel writer and author of different books, as well as Britain's most multilingual student in 2012, Alex Rawlings, was asked which language is the most pointless. And this was followed by the statement that Welsh might be the most useless language in the world, which obviously left the polyglot appalled, shocked, speechless, and dazed. He readily replied that there is no such thing as a useless language, because as long as a language is used to communicate and to discover things about another culture, that language is indeed useful. So today's question is, are indigenous languages or endangered languages useless? Would it make any difference if they disappeared out of the blue, leaving no trace of their existence whatsoever? Well, surprisingly enough, there seem to be people who think this is the case. They claim that if a language cannot be used to talk about modern-day life or in broadcast television, then it does not deserve to be called useful. But I think it's not the case. First of all, we need to ponder on the meaning of the word useful itself. What does it mean to be useful? Well, of course, when something is useful, it can be put to use. It can be used to achieve a specific goal. And when it comes to languages, a language is useful when it can be used to communicate. We use language to talk to each other and to convey complex information through this amazingly complex system of communication that's been developed over the centuries, after centuries and centuries of development. Moreover, every single language enables us to express different shades of meaning and information, often proper to the culture speaking that particular language, so that speakers of Welsh, Cymraeg for instance, may perceive the world around them in a slightly different way from, say, the Yawanawa from the Amazon. Language contains all the values of a human culture. It allows us to talk about the world around us with ever so many different lenses and filters, so that speaking another language allows us to experience the world, experience reality itself in a completely different way. And I'm not by any way trying to condone any form of patriotism by saying this, but I just think it's impossible to define a language as useless. And I was able to see this with my experience with Hawaiian language. I've been following the process of revitalization of the Hawaiian language for some years now, and I was able to see how the Kanaka Maoli, the word for indigenous people in Hawaiian, are fighting, so to speak, to keep their culture and language alive, in all of its olelo no eau, for example, its sayings and idioms. And this means that all languages are amazing, no matter their popularity. For instance, the Ngu language of South Africa is greatly endangered. It is only spoken by 3 or 4 speakers, and they are old and live in different villages, therefore it is not used anymore. Yet this doesn't mean that it's not rich in values and beautiful features, and that it wouldn't be able to keep the culture alive. And does the term indigenous mean that they are any less valuable than any other language? Well, no, because indigenous means born there, born in the country, born in that area or territory. And therefore, if you really wanted to be picky, indigenous languages are the real native languages of every country. Welsh, Irish, Scottish Gaelic, Navajo, Ojibwe, Hawaiian, Tahitian, Maori, Kiribati, Marshallese, Jutuan, Xhosa, Hadza, Sandawe, and any other speaker of any other language I have not mentioned. Keep your language alive and don't let people who say it's useless distract you from keeping your culture with you. E olana olelo mauli. Tēnā koutou. Takumbiri. Mi oia. Ahehe ni tsago. Palha. Diolch yn fawr.